The last segment we have for you guys is we are going to draft our starting six for the NBA. Our special guest with us is going to run through his top six. Ryota will have his, and then I will draft mine. And we'll kind of have some fun banter. We'll go back and forth, and it should be really fun. Excited to do this. Let's get into it.
Thanks, Drew, for telling us about what we're going to talk about today. Really excited. So everyone wants to hear about a special guest. So a little bit about him. We went to Roosevelt High School together. He's been a longtime friend of ours, even starting from middle school, elementary school. We went to the University of Puget Sound for 2 years together. He swam while he was there. He transferred to UW, so he recently graduated from the U. Knows a lot about sports, big Mariners fan, big Seahawks fan. We've always done fantasy sports together. And then he also has his own fashion business with Anna Gibbon called Drift Apparel, so make sure to check that out on Instagram. A lot of really cool stuff, but yeah, we're excited to have him, and let's get into it.
All right, and we're back with Sean Suver. Sean Suver is our guest. If you guys guessed it right, you got Sean Suver. Sean, how you going? How's it going?
Doing pretty well. Just kicking in Seattle for the most part, and hanging out in the summer, enjoying the sun.
There you go. It's been nice. The weather's been amazing.
It has. It's been a pretty good time recently.
Too bad we're inside.
Yeah.
So you just graduated from the University of Washington. How's that experience been?
Been pretty good. I think the 2 years I was there was probably a little bit too small of a sample size. I enjoyed my time at UPS a lot, and I think building I guess coming into like the UW at like my junior year, it was a little bit rushed, but I think I definitely got a lot out of my academics, which I was definitely hoping for. And I enjoyed like the D1 experience and going to football games and basketball games. So definitely enjoyed that aspect, which I think was more or less lacking at UPS, just the D3 relationship there. But it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
No, I definitely agree with that. I remember we went to one game with the house, and it was because of it was a football game, and it was California.
Yeah.
And we got into the student section. It was my first time in the student section. And then, of course, there was lightning and thunder that canceled it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bummer.
Just the luck, right? I mean, that was the only game that we got you guys into. And it was a bummer that it ended like in what, a quarter, 2 quarters? Forget.
No, I think it was like 5 minutes into the first quarter.
Oh, my gosh.
But at least I got to meet DeJounte Murray.
Oh, yeah, that was an incredible experience.
We got a picture with him, even though he wasn't happy at all.
Yeah, he was pretty upset, wasn't he?
All right. Yeah, and then you also have a clothing brand going on. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah.
I guess less of a clothing brand, but more of like Ann and I call it a collective. And it's something we started my junior year at UW, probably going into our winter quarter. And yeah, we kind of just took it upon just like our interest within like vintage clothing and, our desire to just like go to Goodwills and like, Goodwill bins and other like small vintage stores and just like buy clothing that we liked and just like resell it. And I think we just wanted to turn our hobby into something that could, feed itself in some sense, because we were doing it so much that money just gets tight.
Yeah.
So it definitely allowed us to have some incoming income and, allow us to do it more. So we're still doing it. Anna is doing a lot of her jewelry on our Instagram right now, at Drift Apparel. And we're trying to transition over to Depop right now. So trying to do that long term to make it a little bit easier for like with COVID and everything. Depop has a great system of going over there. But Instagram has been our main source, but it's been a little bit slow because obviously stores are closed right now. You can't really just go and buy new clothes to rip our stock. It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Welcome back. This is a much anticipated segment we have here. We are going to draft the top 6 players for our NBA team. Right now, we have 3 general managers, Ryota as one, myself, and then Sean. We're going to do a random order. So Ryota has a random generator order coming up, but it's going to be a snake draft. And yeah, it should be really fun. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Get destroyed.
I'm hyped.
Hyped to prove
Dynasty,
myself
right?
with this championship ring on my finger.
All right, let's first start out. Where are you from, Sean? What city are you going to locate your team to?
Ooh, I'd love to fill the void in Seattle. So I'm just going to claim it, We're just taking it.
All right. Ryota.
Repping the Sonics, too.
I'm going to bring a team to a state that doesn't have basketball. I'm going to go to Idaho.
Okay. I'll stay in the city of champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. So I will be the Los Angeles. I don't know. We don't have a nickname yet, but I'll be in LA. You know, where the lights are brightest. All right, Ryota. Let's see. Who do you have for your generator? Who's going first?
Let's do our guest. Okay, Sean, ready? Generating.
Me?
Wow, Sean got the first pick.
Are you
Let's
serious?
go.
Okay, so Sean gets pick number 1, and then Drew, you're me.
Me.
Okay, generate. You get 3.
3?
Get back to back. With 3 people, that's pretty solid.
That's
All right.
true.
Well, let's get into it. And again, so we're not the kind of the standards or guidelines we said. We're going to make this like a dynasty team. So looking to draft players for the next, I don't know, not 10 years, but
5 or 6, 5 or 7. Yeah.
Foreseeable future.
In the future.
Right. I guess this would be a good example if we were just starting a brand new franchise.
Yeah.
Like literally, who do we want?
Yeah. Well said.
To build our team. But I mean, everyone's free to pick from. Nobody's restricted. And again, so if we need to fill 5 positions and then
6
plus
positions.
6 man.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting 5 or 6.
And you have a timer of 10 minutes. Ready? Go.
Well, I think this pick was pretty easy for me. I'm gonna go with Luka Doncic.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay.
Guy's a stud.
Do you have any input on him?
Give us a little input while we strategize the next ones.
Well, I mean, given their stance right now in the Western Conference, I mean, the guy's what? How old? 20?
20. He's 20.
21. I have 21.
I have 20.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
The intern gave you a wrong number, Drew.
Oh, no.
The guy's putting his team on his back, and having Kristaps Porzingis there is obviously helping him out.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing you can obviously work on, but this will just come through, having years in the league is probably shooting percentages, beyond the arc and also at the line he kind of lacks in. But I mean, that'll just come, so look on it.
I really like him too. I like his play style. He's not the most athletic player, but I feel like he can get every shot he wants.
Yeah, you know what you're going to expect from him.
Exactly. He just to bring up some stats, his first year, he averaged 21 points, 7 total rebounds, 6 assists. But in his second year, he is averaging up to 28 points, 9 total rebounds, 8 assists. This guy I wanted him.
Impact player.
Definitely.
Nothing else to say. I think that's a good pick.
Near triple-double.
I'm honestly surprised, though. I mean, I like Luka a lot, but I mean, if you want him for if you're thinking, your team's going to win for the next 10, 15 years, yeah, Luka's a great pick, but I want to win now. I'm picking Giannis.
Okay, that's my pick. Okay.
Good pick. Yeah, I mean, that's a great pick.
Giannis, that's a good pick.
I mean, do I need to explain? I mean, I don't think so.
He's
only
not
20.
much.
He's 25.
Former MVP.
Yeah, he's dominating the league right now. I think he's gonna. I think he can have a long career like LeBron. So I think he's gonna be someone I can, create my team around. He's a great vocal leader. Does a whole lot for the team. Great passer, and I think his assist numbers are only gonna go up from here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 3-point percentage too.
Right, exactly. And so hopefully he can shoot more threes and just evolve his game. And kind of like LeBron, right? LeBron wasn't a great assister early in his career, but he's learned to do that. James Harden's learned to get double-digit assists now. I think Giannis is only going to grow him here. And who would want a walking bucket and rebound? So, Drew?
That's a good pick. So I'm going to go Anthony Davis here, the 26-year-old, 7-time All-Star, 3-time All-Defensive Team. I think he's a great addition to my team, the cornerstone. He's still young, 26 years old. He led the league in blocks in 2014, 2015, and 2018. So he's that defensive presence. I think I'm going to stick him. How my team lays out, I think I'll probably stick him in power forward right now, but he can switch to center. I mean, he averages 10 total rebounds a game with 2.6 offensive rebounds. So I know he can attack the glass. And 24 points a game. And as we've seen, it's steadily growing. And he's a great addition as he's played with LeBron. So he's in kind of that play style. I think I'm going to go Anthony Davis here.
I mean, great presence, a great person to build your team around, assuming it doesn't leave your team.
He won't. He's in LA. I'm already in LA.
I know, but I mean, Pelicans, you never know. Yeah, injury is, slight concern. He has a big body. Yeah, I mean, he's good player though. Good, steady, number 1 pick, I say. And he's not that old, so yeah.
I think so I'm aware. So my next pick, I'm aware I cannot He'll play back-to-backs, but I think I'm going to go Kawhi Leonard. He's 28 years old, so if I have him for 5 years, I mean, I'll be 33. If I have him for 6 or 7, he'll be 34, 35. So he's still young in a sense.
Yeah.
4-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
He has been a champion when he played against LeBron in the finals.
Yeah.
Up against him with San Antonio. He's fundamentally sound. He went on a tear with Toronto last season, as we can see, as we saw.
Mm-hmm.
This year, he's been averaging a career high 26.9 points a game, with also a career high in rebounds and assists.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's also very good at 3-pointers. So he's making a career three a game. I don't think I can pass this up, especially if I have back-to-back. He'll defend the best player on the opposing team. He has the ability to play shooting guard and small forward, and he plays well with star players, like we've seen with Tim Duncan with San Antonio. Pascal, I know he kind of played second fiddle to Kawhi there, but also Paul George. So I think I'm going Kawhi here with my second pick.
Yeah, I'm seeing a pattern here of the guys you've picked, kind of picking the humble, showing on the court kind of thing. They're not, too showy.
Yeah.
But I like those picks. Yeah, I mean, my only critique, would just be, how are you guys going to win in 10 years? I don't know.
Well, 10 years? I thought this was 5 or 7. I mean,
well, I know. I'm just being critical. But I mean, you have a really good base, assuming that they're going to be healthy. I like your team so far, Drew.
I think these guys are winners, and that is why I'm going with them.
That's a good
doubt winners. Yeah.
They play games. I mean, they average 37. So Kawhi averages 37 minutes a game. So I know he'll be there. And Anthony Davis averages 34. I mean, the first 2 picks, I need a core, and these guys can win.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm up. I'm gonna choose Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. Sean, your pick's up next. You have back to back, so take your time. But I like Cat. He's 24. Despite Drew talking about a winning team, winning players, Cat has not been so lucky on that side. It's kind of, not to say it's struggled, but I think you need to change the scenery. And I think teaming up with Giannis will give him a little bit of extra fire. I think Giannis is a great teammate too. He makes everybody else better on the Bucks, ranging from George Hill to Dante DiVincenzo to Brook Lopez. So if he's going to make them better, imagine Cat being better. Cat's very versatile, can shoot threes, good at the free throw line, good at blocks, good boards. I mean, walking double-double. So I like my bigs right now, trying to build a young core, and got a 25-year-old and 24-year-old. I think these guys are going to be I think they're going to be future Hall of Famers by pretty easily, just based on the trajectory right now. So I'm really
Giannis is an easy one.
Yeah. Well, you never know, right? So based on my projections, I like my 2. But yeah, Sean, you're good to go.
Yeah. Wait, back, I guess.
One more. Sorry. I like Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's improving each year. The only knock on him is the winning culture, but I agree he's a talent in the post. Offensively, he's really gifted.
So back to back, I guess it's less of a concern what take here, but for the sake of him going,
it's for the salary cap. The salary, exactly. Who you pay more
for sake of him going to the second round. I think I'm going to take Joel Embiid here. Guy's 25 years old. Only issue that I have with him is injury-riddled history. I mean, he's only played ever max 64 games in a season. So obviously there's concern there with his health and his longevity and, him taking care of his body. But, I mean, this guy's an absolute monster down in the center position.
Yeah.
So averaged 23 points before, the break this season, but averaged 27 last season. And I think he's poised for, MVP status in a couple of years. So Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I like him too. I think he can block a lot of shots. And he's been, I mean, maybe with your team and Luka not having to take a lot of shots, maybe his percentage will go up because he doesn't have to take so many. But he's also getting to the line a lot, which is pretty good, 8 times a game, which I like. So that's a good pick. I mean, you have to take into account that he won't play back-to-back games probably. So
that's consideration I have. Yeah,
but he is. There's a reason why he went third, and he only played like a few games at Kansas.
Yeah.
That
No,
talented.
like I said, the injuries are definitely the concern, but if he can maintain his health, which is a huge if, I've been saying that for a while, but there's no doubt that he could be the best center in the entire league.
Yeah. It's a good pick.
Oh, bold statement. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for my second pick, or I guess first pick of third round, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to my young guns. You know, we're not trying to win it immediately. You know, we got a few years here to work with.
Let
Well,
me guess.
Jason Tatum.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
a good
good pick.
pick.
That's a good pick. Okay, so
So
small forward or shooting guard?
I'm gonna put a small forward, and I'll
Okay.
go Luke at the two.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, what else do I have to say about this guy? He's 21, so he's super young. Kind of fits my mold for my team. And this guy was a first time All-Star last year, and you know the guy shot 23 points and was an absolute stud. So I think he'll. I mean, he was the number one guy on a team with Kemba Walker, and I think going into the season, it was shady to see where he's going to come from because he had little progression from his first to second year, but he obviously broke out in his third season, and I think he'll continue to obviously progress as that number one option in that team.
Yeah, he's improved every single season.
And his 3-point percentage is absolutely incredible. He's shooting 39% beyond the arc, and 7 3-point attempts per game. So, guy's a stud.
He, like you said, at only 21, he's averaging 23 points, and that's up 8 points from last season. So
definitely
It's
candidate for most improved player. So
I mean, to be like about 2.9 assists, not getting it done.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. I think he's got to shoot the ball though. That's his job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's very reminiscent of a young KD or Carmelo, right? And KD and Carmelo, they aren't passers per se, but I think it's something.
Okay,
KD
wait.
can
Carmelo is the best player probably in the NBA and the whole league. So comparing him to Carmelo is the highest award. So.
But I mean, I think his play style is very similar. Their body types are similar. I really like Tatum where he is, and he's so young.
Yeah.
I mean, I think him and Brandon Ingram are going to be competitors for best small forward, power forwards going forward. Like, Brandon Ingram made a huge jump. I think Tatum's a little bit better right now, but I think both players are going to look to distribute the ball a little bit more as they get older. I think that's just kind of a trend we see with a lot of players in general, but I really like Tatum's pick. So
I agree with that.
For my pick, I'm sure Drew has this guy on his mind too. I'm going with Devin Booker.
It's a good pick. Kentucky native.
Yeah.
Or not Kentucky native, but Kentucky alumni.
Yeah. Did he play? He played with Cat, right, on the same team?
He did. He is a young one.
So, and there's a little bit of chemistry there. Again, D-Book needs a change this year. He needs to just go to a winning team. This is a chance right here. A team with Giannis.
Who says your team's winning any games?
I look at but I mean,
and he's with his boy Cat.
You know what we should do? We should do an Instagram poll after this and put our teams out and see who they think has a better team. But anyways,
okay, I like it.
I mean, D-Book, Cat, and Giannis. Giannis, I haven't decided whether to put the three or the four yet. But I mean, Devin Booker is a scorer, and I think his assist numbers are up this year, right? Am I right on that?
You are right.
You are right. I have some stats on him.
Season.
Yeah. So I mean, distributing the ball is, even as a scorer, as good as he is, he's like learning to distribute the ball. And again, he's at the 2 or 1 position, so of course he has to distribute the ball. But he's a walking bucket. He's kind of like Jason Tatum. Like, they just have this mentality to score, and they just ball out. I love Devin Booker, and I think he's so underrated. Like, he seems like he's been in the league for 10 years, but he's only 23.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Finally got his first All-Star nod too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
barely as well. Like, he should have even gotten voted in to begin with, but
yeah. Drew, your back-to-backs.
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go young because you guys have gone young. I'm gonna pick Trae Young, point guard, Atlanta Hawks, 21 years old. Kind of led that team for the Hawks. Didn't have the best winning, but obviously with Leonard and Davis, you think they could win some games. In his first year, he averaged 19 points, 8 assists. And yeah, so I think in his second year, he's also taken a huge step. 29 points this year, 9 assists and 4 rebounds. He's also improved his shooting, and he makes about 3 a game on 36% from the arc. So I think just his ability to shoot and also his passing, I think he will be a good fit for LA, my team, especially with Anthony Davis in the pick and roll, because I know Anthony Davis can kind of do a pick and pop scenario. And then he doesn't need to have the ball in his hands as much with Leonard kind of controlling it. So that could probably open things up as well. So I'm going to go Trae Young here. For
liability on defense, but his offense is there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think with Kawhi Leonard, I think who can play.
You kind of counterbalances.
That's what I'm hoping. And then I think I still need a shooting guard. And I'm deciding if I want to put Anthony Davis at center, power forward. I think he's going to end up in power forward. But with my next pick, I'm going to go Nikola Jokic.
That's a good pick. He's only 25. Isn't that crazy? He just looks like an old man, but he's only 25.
He is the Joker, as some say. Sorry. I'm going to my stuff. Okay. Yeah, so he's only 25. He's been in the league for 5 seasons. 2 of those have been All-Stars now. And he finished 4th in MVP voting in 2019. I think his passing ability really lends well. And he's a big body. He loves the glass. He finished, as a true center, he finished up in boards in the top 10 in the last 3 seasons. So he can get the boards. And then he's also been, in the last 3 seasons, he's been in the top 15 in passing assists per game. So just spreading the ball around, not a lot of ball handlers that per se need the ball a lot, maybe Trae Young, but I think Nikola Jokic can open up the game for me, and I'll place him at center. And that'll be my 4th pick. All right, Ryota, you're on the clock.
I'm going to go for a little bit of defense now, because you're right. Yeah, Devin, I'm thinking about like Cat's good at defense, Giannis good at defense, D-Book not so much.
Right.
And I'm going to fill that point guard position with a big body to outmatch and to guard Trae Young very easily. I'm going to pick Ben Simmons.
Nice. That's a good pick.
Ben Simmons, 23. We all know about his passing, but his lack of shooting, which I'm hoping he'll learn. I mean, he's going to have to learn at some point how to shoot a 3 and a jump shot, and I'm confident that he can. But who knows what the 76ers are teaching how the players to shoot over there. Look at Markelle Fultz. That did not end well. But I have a lot of hope in Ben Simmons. He's a great ball handler, can pass the ball, good dunker, good defense. And, again, he's like that hybrid type of point guard, kind of like LeBron and just being a big body. And I think he'll match up really well against Trae Young. I think he'll lock him down, honestly. Sorry, Drew, but I'm going with the Simmons pick.
Don't need to apologize for me, because Trae Young has been averaging 29 points a game this season.
And to add on to that, Rio, I mean, he's a mismatch on the offensive side too. Imagine him versus Trae Young at that point guard. I mean, he's probably not going to guard him depending on the lineup. But
yeah,
I mean, if you can figure out his shooting, I mean, that guy's going to be a stud. So
yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Excited to see what he turns into.
High ceiling, yeah.
High ceiling, very high ceiling, yeah.
All right, Sean.
All right, this is a tough one for me. I have a couple people in mind. A couple people who I've been thinking about. One player I was going to pick, but I already filled that position, so I'm going to have to wait for my 6th man. But I think with this pick, I'm going to fill my point guard position. Get some veteran presence on the team. I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving.
Nice. The world is flat.
Flat.
There's so many other veterans you could have gone with. I'm confused on why you went with Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, he might taint my entire roster. We'll see. But I think Kyrie Irving for his age is 28, or even 27.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
He's young. I think he's 27, and if we're playing that 5-year mold, I mean, he's going to be entering his prime. He already is in his prime. Issues obviously are his relationship ability with his team. But I think with the Starfield roster, I mean, I think he does have some drive. He does have some injury-riddled history as well. So, sidelined with a shoulder injury right now. But the guy's always been a stud. I mean, he worked with LeBron James, has a championship ring underneath his belt. So he has playoff experience. So he can be able to help these young guys, go into that role. Like Joel Embiid, I'm sure he can learn a little bit from Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie Irving's the pick.
But we'll have to see if he coincides with everybody else. His skill's there, though. All right, your next pick?
My next pick, we're going to go with Pascal Siakam.
It's a good pick.
For the power forward void, and obviously was a part of that championship team Kawhi Leonard. And since his departure, everyone was a little bit concerned of that team, but he obviously has filled that void and became the number one guy in Toronto. And, the guy's only, 25 years old. So he's pretty young and doesn't really have an injury-riddled, history. So I think he'll provide good longevity for our roster. And, he's averaging like 23 points right now. And the guy's coming up. And I think he's definitely up for it. Did he win Most Improved last season?
Yes.
He did.
Or was it last or two? I can't remember, but he did win that award.
Okay, yeah, he's almost up 7 points per game. So if you can win it twice, he's definitely a candidate. So he's been doing great.
And I mean, look at that. I just want to talk about that whole team in general. The Raptors, like Drew and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but the Raptors, they literally have no one. I mean, okay, no one's a disrespect to the team, but like no one that's noticeable besides Siakam and maybe Kyle Lowry. Like the rest of the team is Ibaka, Gasol. What's that?
Fred VanVleet's good.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, VanVleet.
They.
Anunoby, Terrence Davis, Patty McCall. Who else did we talk about? Norman Powell. Am I missing anybody, Drew?
Marc Gasol. I'm not sure if you
mentioned Gasol. Right, but like, look at. I mean, are they second or third? Or third place, right, in the East?
They're top three. Yeah.
But isn't that crazy? Just look at that lineup. Look at what Siakam's done. I mean, also the coaching staff. What a job they've done with the players they have. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think that they're even competing, honestly.
Yeah, no one expected it. And going back to the podcast, I did tune into that one. And when I think it was Kyle Lowry that he brought up like over under for, where he was drafted. And I know there's a stat out there, but most of their roster was not drafted in the lottery. So everyone was after pick 15. And it's like to see a roster come together like that, and Marc Gasol even coming off the bench. A little old, but very well-rounded roster. Has good defense, OG on the wing. And, Kyle Lowry is a great veteran presence for that team. And Pascal Siakam's obviously the guy there right now.
I think it also speaks to the coaching that Nick Nurse has done too. Just molding those guys. And yeah, kind of like what you said, Sean, they're a bunch of misfits. They're not like the, blue chip top of the tier. I got you with the first pick. So
it just reminded me of how Queen describes themselves in the movie. Do you remember that scene? Freddie's like, we're a bunch of misfits that
when he's with the manager.
Yeah. The Raptors are basically Queen. But my next pick, I'm going for a veteran who can shoot, because I don't have a lot of shooting now that I think about it. Besides
you don't.
Wait, actually, Sean, you should go over your starting five right now so all the viewers can remember and refresh.
Yes, and you guys have to do the same. So my starting five. So the point guard position, we got Kyrie Irving. At the 2, we're gonna put Luka Doncic there. At the 3, we got Jason Tatum. 4, Spicy P, and then 5, Joel Embiid.
It's a good pick.
It's a good team.
Team that's gonna lose.
My 5th player that I'm gonna fill. So right now I have Simmons at the point, Booker at the 2nd spot. The 3 spot I'm gonna lead up to it. Giannis at the 4, and Kat at the 5. So I wanted a veteran player because all these guys are under their 30s. But I'm going to take my shot at a guy in their 30s. I'm taking KD.
Okay. That's a good pick.
Like I said, I want to win now. KD's only 31. He's going to be hungry to come back and play, make a huge impact in Idaho. I'm hoping he can play into his at least 38, 39. That's plenty enough for me. I mean, he's a walking bucket and can play good defense too. So that's my team right there.
Yeah. I was waiting for one of these top elite players right now to go.
Yeah, exactly.
KD's the right guy to go right now.
I thought about going LeBron here, but 35 was a big number for me, and I don't know if he can play to 45 like Ichiro. So I said I'll shy it away on that.
I am going to finish out my my starting lineup, and I'm going to get Donovan Mitchell for the shooting guard position. Yeah. 23 years old, very young, led the Jazz to the playoffs, kind of that whole team with Rudy Gobert. But I really like him. Not much more to say about him. I think he's young, and I have a young team, but I also have an old team as well. So I think he'll be a really good starting 5.
Yeah.
For my 6th pick, I'm gonna go James Harden here.
Yeah.
I think this is where he should go. And obviously he probably won't come off the bench, but he has the ability to come off the bench. Especially when he gets older, especially because he played at OKC and he was the 6th man of the year. and he's 30 years old. So he, let's say 5 years, 6 years, 36. If we want to do 10 years, that's fine. But I hope we already have some championships at that time. Kind of just want to go over some of the stats. The last 3 years, he has averaged 33 points a game, 6 rebounds, 7.9 assists, while making 4 3-pointers a game. So he brings that shooting ability. I love how he gets to the line. He draws fouls, and he's been successful. I mean, he's worked with KD and Russell at OKC, so he has that kind of ability to work with a star player. He's been with CP3 at Houston, and now again at Houston, he's with Russell Westbrook. And the thing I like the most about this is his passing ability. He is kind of like, I don't know, he gets every shot off, and he is a wizard with the ball. So coming out in the second unit, he is going to take over games. And James Harden is my pick, and I'm happy with that. And that'll be my team.
I like that pick.
Thank you.
I mean, he's a shooter, so 5 years down the road, he's still gonna be shooting the ball. Not playing any defense, but he never has. So
hey, we have we got some defenders.
Yeah.
All right, so Drew's got Trae Young, Spider Mitchell,
Kawhi,
AD, and Jokic.
Yeah, and then James Harden.
That is a good lineup.
Thank you.
You did.
All right, you want to finish off your 6-man?
Man, this 6-man pick is really difficult, man. There's so many good names out there. I'm also I'm debating whether to go veteran or young here, because there's so many good veterans left, like so many.
Gotta go with your guy.
Steph
Curry off the bench. Oof.
That would be clutch. LeBron James is still there.
I know. See, we should debrief after this and talk about the players we left out and why.
Yeah.
But I have a good.
Yeah, Zion's on the clock.
I know. See, I think I need to build my young team here. I could go Zion or Ja.
Ooh, yeah, Ja.
I have a Zion jersey hanging, so I might as well go Zion. Going Zion.
All right,
20 years old. He's only going to get better from here. He's already scoring 20-plus points a game. And, God, look at his fucking scoring efficiency. It's crazy. So I'm going on Zion here. Build my team around him next 5 years.
Nothing wrong with that pick.
Sean,
you want to finish
last pick, your 6-man.
Yeah, I think this one's a no-brainer for me. There's obviously a lot of people who can go in this spot, but we're going to go with LeBron James.
There we go.
You can't leave out the GOAT basketball right now. And
he's amazing right now.
He's 35, and he's still averaging nearly 26 points a game, over 10 assists a game, and had his first significant injury last season. But aside from that, he's been healthy all year. He's been performing. He's been leading the Lakers with AD, obviously, into their number 1 seed. I think they're in right now.
Yep, they're number 1 seed.
Yeah,
he's having an MVP season right now, and it's crazy to think.
Oh yeah, and I think his name is definitely being floated around. So I'm excited for him. I hope he continues to do well in the bubble. But with my team, I think he'll provide a nice. If Kyrie is leading the team, I think we have issues. But as long as LeBron's there, he's going to allow that balance to work well with him. And I think him there with Jason Tatum too. I think that relationship is definitely going to mesh well. And who knows? I mean, we keep saying 35 is old. But LeBron's still producing, and he's still adapting.
I think he'll play to 40. You'll have him for 5 good years.
Yeah, so who knows? We'll see how much he regresses. But, I mean, he's most assists he's ever averaged in a game. So he's obviously molding his game with his age. So LeBron James, I think
you really can't pass that up. And LeBron James is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Probably obviously generational talent. So Ryota's team, once again, Ben Simmons, Devin Booker at shooting guard, Kevin Durant, small forward. Power forward is going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. Center is Karl Anthony Towns. And then 6-man is Zion. Sean's team, Kyrie Irving at point guard, Luka Doncic at shooting guard, Jason Tatum at small forward, Pascal Siakam and Embiid in the front court with LeBron James coming off the bench. My team, Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, and Nikola Jokic in the center positions, front court, my apologies, and James Harden coming off the bench. So there's obviously a lot of people we left off, a lot of players. I just want to go through some of them. I mean, I was looking at Damian Lillard really hard.
Too, yeah.
Why I went for Trae Young? I think I just needed. I don't know. I love Damian Lillard. It was kind of a toss up for me, but the youngness about Trae Young kind of appealed to me, and that's kind of why I went there.
I mean, Trae is 9 years younger than Dame, or even if you compare to Steph or Kemba or Westbrook, all those guys who are, I have them on my list.
Yeah.
But you mean 9-10 years younger? Imagine where Trae's going to be in 5 years from now. And
Mhm.
plus, we took this dynasty mindset, right? Like if we're going to start redraft the NBA and make new teams right now, as good as Steph and Westbrook and Dame are, I'd rather have one of those guys who I can trust to at least play 10 more years. Because who knows what happens to these 30, 31-year-olds? You never know, right?
Yeah. But yes, that is true. 10 years. A decade is a long time.
Decade is a long time.
But 5 or 6 years is definitely more doable. I mean, I think the only 10-year deal we saw was Patrick Mahomes, but I think these guys that we've drafted are definitely for the future, and in a win now scenario as well. Kind of some other players I want to talk about. Let's see. So Damian Lillard, Trae. Okay, we actually went through most of the teams.
One guy that I had high up on my list was Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
But I can draw some comparisons with some. I'm not saying he's exactly the same with Nikola Jokic, with his versatility, his ability to pass the ball, his defense. Obviously, the shooting is not the same, but I mean, first time All-Star.
Athlete.
He's an athlete. He's a stud.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I wasn't gonna go Joel Embiid, I was probably gonna go Bam. But
he's definitely resurging with the Heat and Jimmy Butler. I think for why I went Jokic, I think he's kind of underrated, and he did lead the Nuggets in that playoff series. Granted, they did lose, but I don't know. I think our center position. So we have Karl-Anthony Towns, Embiid, and Jokic. Any trends you guys or any themes you guys see here?
I mean, they're all. I guess they've already proven their talents, right? They obviously have a high ceiling and they have more room to improve, but they're kind of players that have already, made their. Well, I guess all these players have really made a statement, but I think those you can consider are top 5, regardless of dynasty or just general, best centers among the league. I think
and they're also new age centers too. They all can shoot the 3-ball and they can spread the floor, and obviously, beast in the paint. So, I think.
So why do you think we did not pick Steph Curry? What was kind of your guys's?
My concern with him was injuries, age. Yeah, injuries and age. I mean, comparing him to Kyrie Irving, I think I like Steph Curry more personally. But age was a factor, and obviously injuries was a big one too.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, pretty similar to Sean. I was also trying to trigger the Warriors fans who are listening. But in all seriousness, I mean, his ankle is a major red flag for me. And I think we're thinking dynasty, right? We want to win now, but in the next 5 years also. And I just thought, I don't know, there are better options. And I rather, if I was going to go to a veteran, because I was kind of thinking I'd maybe pick 1 or 2 veterans on my team, but I'd rather have KD as a veteran than Steph. And I think even the Warriors fans could agree with that.
It's funny because you picked the complete opposite player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, and I really like having shooting point guards, but I thought just to match up with Trae and Kyrie, I mean having a big offensive point guard. I mean that's why I was thinking LeBron at that position too. But I was like 35. I think I'd rather have Simmons, who I'm hoping will learn how to shoot.
Yeah. And then keep on going. So power forward, you have Giannis, Pascal Siakam, and Anthony Davis here. Personally, I went Anthony Davis with my first pick. I think he is one of the top 5 players or top 3 players in the league right now. And I think what we saw in New Orleans was really, really good. But just think he's only 26. I think he's going to keep on getting better. And I think the Lakers also believe that. And I think they know LeBron James might be kind of gearing up to, pass the torch to Anthony Davis. So that's kind of why I went with Anthony Davis for my power forward position.
Yeah. If I was in your shoes, I would not have passed up on him either. I think he's definitely one of the best players in the league right now.
And then you going? Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna move on to Pascal, but you can keep going if you
Okay.
want.
I was gonna say just interesting, like the way we drafted our power forwards. Like Giannis is kind of like a small forward, right? Big and tall. Pascal, I guess, is kind of similar to Giannis in terms of body, not quite as tall, right? But then we have AD, who's just a brick wall. So I think we have a good variety, right? Because Giannis, AD is like a 4 or 5. I think Siakam is more like a 3 or 4 too. Same with Giannis, right? So I think we have good variety in different play styles. Giannis can't really shoot, but Pascal can shoot, right? AD can do a little bit of everything. So we have an interesting variety compared to kind of our center position.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of what you said. I'm looking at Giannis and Pascal are definitely better off the dribble. I think they're quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis, I think, can have his way. I mean, Giannis is such a built guy.
Yeah.
But maybe, and I don't know this. I'm just from what I'm seeing. I think Anthony Davis might be better on the post.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But both of those two, Giannis and Pascal, are definitely better off the dribble. And that kind of leads me into my Leonard pick with matching up with the best players. So that's why I picked that. But any other power forwards for this position? Any of your comments on that?
I think the only other person, well, obviously I drafted LeBron James, but you can put him in the smaller, the power forward position. But I think with your pick of Anthony Davis, like that was my number one guy at that position. You can also obviously play center because he's just a big dude. But I think Spicy P is he's the man in Toronto. Yeah.
And he is young.
I think out of all the people that were there, like the 5 that I had on my like to watch to draft list was AD, Zion, Domantas Sabonis, who we didn't really talk about, Jason Tatum, and Siakam. So I think if you put Tatum at the 3, Siakam at the 4 is a perfect pick. Otherwise, Tatum at the 4 would have worked. That's just fine.
That is true.
I want to talk about Sabonis. I mean, he's been highly underrated. He's only 24. I think he doesn't really fit our what kind of power forward we want. He's like, you don't really hear about him. He's very underrated. He's not like super special in any way, but he's just a solid, well-rounded player. I think a lot of teams would be happy to have him. Like if we had, I don't know, Shane or Justin picking in this draft, they would have easily gone for Sabonis.
I think since we only did have 3 picks, we had so much, so much pool left that it's kind of hard to pass up on Giannis, Pascal, and Anthony Davis for Sabonis. But I can see that. I mean, he is definitely underrated. Being in Indiana, I think Indiana, the Pacers always have been underrated. Even when Paul George was there.
Yeah.
I know Reggie Miller kind of like brought that to the next stage, but like when you're not in the bigger cities like LA or New York, or even or California, I think you kind of get underrated, and that's probably why I like him. I think he's a great player. I think his pick and roll is amazing, and he really gets the board, and his field goal percentage is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, small forward, KD for Ryota, Jason Tatum, and Kawhi Leonard. So let's start with Kevin Durant.
I think among current small forwards right now, I think he's arguably the best if you consider Giannis as a power forward. I think any day you would choose KD over Kawhi. You'd obviously choose KD over Tatum just because Tatum's still developing. But I think Tatum has a ceiling to maybe become a KD over past KD. But then Kawhi's defense is amazing, so that's obviously his strong suit there. But he still can score too.
Yeah. I think KD is amazing at shooting the ball. I think he has a few scoring championships under his belt. I think the only thing that deterred me here was the injury, and just the growing age. I don't know, and maybe it's just me, and like I don't know, but I think KD he's the best 3-point shooter from as big as he is, and he's definitely a mismatch. We'll have to see when he comes back, and like how he will be. But it's a good pick. And then Jason Tatum, kind of like power forward, small forward-esque.
Yeah, I tried. I feel like throughout my team, there's a trend of leadership and like being the guy on their team, and I think Jason Tatum definitely filled that role when Kyrie left, and I think in a great way. So, and I think he's like also like a silent leader as well. Like you obviously have the veterans that they have on their team, like Kemba Walker. I feel like you can throw Enes Kanter in there, but obviously not as talented. But he has been in the league for a while now. But they are a young team, and Jason Tatum, being as young as he is and being able to score as easily as he can at that age it's impressive.
Yeah, that's true. And he is only 21, I think.
Yeah.
Quickly, why I pick Leonard, just the ability to show up in big games. He has led his team to 2 NBA finals, winning them both, and as well winning MVP finals. So I just really like him, and I think he is silently a great leader. And yeah, so that's my pick for him. Shooting guards, you went Devin Booker, Ryota. Sean, you went Luka Doncic, and I went Donovan Mitchell. Sean, you want to start off with your pick?
Yeah. I guess just looking at all three of our picks, I feel like all kind of different bodies, honestly. I think your pick, Drew, with Donovan Mitchell, obviously being the athletic player, compared to Luka Doncic, more of, the patient type passer. And I mean, the guy's grown into like almost a triple-double player. And, you have the triple-double. Blanking. I think, this such a high ceiling, and having Kristaps Porzingis there as his kind of, Robin to his Batman, I think it's a good fit. And I mean, the Mavericks team, obviously they have some salary cap issues, I think. And so they're kind of limiting them from adding any other star potentials. We also have Luka Doncic on his rookie contract still. So you can definitely add another piece there. And, for him to be that age, it's a similar story like Jason Tatum. He grew into that leadership role, and I think he's doing it really well.
Yeah, and he's done it for a while. Especially, I think he played. Before he came to the NBA, he played in the Euro League, which is the second best league.
He was the best player in that league,
and he was the best player in that league.
Yeah.
So he is definitely kind of like that European player that everybody wants, and he has it. He's very young, and he has a lot of untapped potential. He's also on my fantasy team. Ryota, do you want to go for your Devin Booker?
Yeah, I mean, on any given day, I'd want Luka over Devin Booker. Not to bag on Booker, but I think Booker's a great scorer, highly underrated. Again, he's been on a losing team, so I get that aspect. He doesn't have that winning mentality, which could be problematic. But I'm hoping, some leadership from Giannis, KD would really help Booker grow. And I think he'll be important because he's one of the few shooters on the team. Because I have Ben Simmons at point guard, is not going to shoot the ball until he learns how to shoot, which probably won't be for a while. I got KD, the only really other shooter around on the team. So I think Devin Booker has a chance to shine here, but also be a good distributor and find open men when Giannis and Kat are on the floor. So
yeah, and then I went Donovan Mitchell. I went for more of the athletic, can kind of play guard more of the guards, and Trae Young will kind of be that facilitator / shooter. I like how Donovan Mitchell, like Sean has said, has grown into the leadership. I think he's done that with the Utah Jazz, and you can make an argument that he is the Utah Jazz roster. I mean, I think you have Gobert, but I think you can make a really good statement that he has led that team. So that's kind of why I went with Donovan Mitchell, just the experienced leader, while also being so young.
He's not like a blue chip prospect too, coming out of college. I mean, he went late in the lottery, I'm pretty sure.
Also very true. He showed up in the summer league. Yeah. Okay, so to finish off our top 5, we have Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, The World is Flat, and Trae Young. I went Trae Young here because he is so young. He has been shooting so well. He is I think the team that I have put around, he doesn't have to shoot as much, but he has he's a shooter. He has always been a shooter, so I don't think he loses that ability. And then he's also facilitated, averaging around 9 assists a game. So I like it. I mean, I lose defense, but I make up for that with Leonard, Anthony Davis, and Donovan Mitchell, plus the shooting. So that's why I went there. Who for your Ben Simmons?
Yeah, I mean, I was considering getting a big point guard. I thought about LeBron, like I mentioned earlier, but I thought Simmons was just better suited for my team and the mindset that I was trying to create here. Simmons has arguably been in a bad. I know a lot of people, including Bill Simmons himself, Bill Simmons, the podcast guy for The Ringer, he said, the whole 76ers team with Simmons and Embiid being there together has been a bad matchup. And I think Simmons needs to change the scenery. I think bringing in players that don't really play like Embiid will be really helpful in this situation. Really good distributor, offensive mismatch, can play really good defense. And I think I just wanted a really well-rounded player. I thought Simmons was good, especially as a 23-year-old.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, my pick, honestly, World is Flat guy. My only bug about Kyrie Irving is his his personality. Sometimes it seems to rub off negatively on his teammates. But you didn't really hear much of that in Cleveland, and I think pairing him with LeBron, I think there might be some more balance there. Who knows? Maybe he grew into that kind of guy. Who knows? Not me. But he's a scrappy player, and like he's won a championship, so he's been there and he's been in like the big moments. And he has experience, just much like LeBron, obviously less so. But yeah, and at his age, he will be able to perform and like be able to fill that role quite well. He's a great shooter, and yeah, I think he'll be a great fit for this team.
All right, that's our starting five. For six man, we have Zion with Ryota's team, LeBron James, and James Harden. I guess I can speak for James Harden. I think what he's doing right now in leading in having led the league in scoring. I know I can have that off my second unit. He's been in the situation where he has kind of taken over the games. So when everybody's resting, I expect him to kind of fill that void and maybe even more. He's been an MVP. And when you have an MVP coming off the bench, I think that's, there's nothing more to say about that.
As far as my pick, I was so conflicted. I'm so bad at making decisions. I'm so indecisive. But I was totally split on LeBron before Sean picked him, or Ingram. Actually, Sean, you picked him after me. But I was split on LeBron, Brandon Ingram, Zion, who I ended up picking. DeAndre Ayton, even I threw into the mix.
Yeah, that's
Jaylen Brown, John Morant.
Yeah, sure.
But I thought, going young here to have someone to kind of follow in the footsteps of, a Giannis or a Cat or whoever on my team, but having someone to foster as a bench player would be really cool. But I went with Zion because I'm a huge Pelicans fan. I'm a huge fan of Zion and what he's doing. I really hope for the best in him. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he can improve even more and more. I'm excited for he's done so well, with a small sample size. And I think that says a lot about who he is and his competitiveness. And plus, I have some – I was going to say I have some Duke heritage. I have Kentucky heritage in my team. Same thing. But
you know what you could do is, even if Zion doesn't like light it up like we envision, mm-hmm. at least you'll have highlight reels, and you'll be able to pack the
I'll get a good fan attendance, good social media presence. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Yeah, see.
So but that is a good pick. He is definitely a generational talent, or he's hyped up to be. Mm-hmm. My only knock, and I know this is really small, so it's like nothing. But I think injuries and just the weight, I think if he can kind of slim down a little bit more, but maybe not. Who should I say? I'm not even in the NBA. This is his. So
we'll see. So far, no injuries. It seems like. Oh, actually, the beginning of the season. He missed the whole season because of injury. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
but we'll see, because the whole Greg Odom thing, and we really never know. So we'll have to see.
And then last, LeBron James. Why do you go with the 35-year-old?
Few words, right? One of the top 3 players in the entire history of the NBA, playing at an MVP level, and he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
So and I think everyone knows that. There's little to be said about LeBron James, about like the reason why you should pick him, but absolute stud.
These are great teams that we came up with. Now looking over and doing like a deep analysis of what we did, what is one player that you guys would want to trade for, now that you know who? So like for me, I might think about Damian Lillard. Now that I've seen him, and he's 30, but he has shown up to be. He just turned 30, so I think I might pick him if I had to redraft. But I don't know who I'd choose over. So that's kind of the thing.
Well, I think I'm lacking a little bit of like shooting beyond the 3-point line. So I think I might have to go with one. There's 2 great shooters in the league right now, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Klay. I think I'd like to trade for Klay Thompson. The injury is a little bit concerning, but he's not a dribbler. He's not like a Kyrie Irving, so I don't think there's gonna be too much pressure on his knee.
Yeah, that's true. You can put Luka at the 1 and then have Klay at the 2.
And Luka himself is so versatile. They can put him the 1, 2, or the 3. So around. And Klay Thompson.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like my team's good defensively, but I think it's still lacking. And what do you think?
I think looking at it right now, I think shooting. You have KD and Booker.
Right, I have a lot of slashers.
You have a lot of slashers. Maybe off the bench, you throw in. I don't
see. This is where I was split on because I thought about getting rid of D Book for a little more defensive player like a Jimmy Butler, but then I'd lose my shooting again.
Yeah, so Jimmy Butler wouldn't be a shooter; he would be a defense. But maybe that's the team you want.
So I mean, this would be a good switch for maybe I get Jaw at the point, so a little bit more shooting ability.
And a slasher and definitely a front runner for Rookie of the Year. I was looking at him. What about Bradley Beal for you? I was thinking Bradley Beal for you.
I thought about it, but I mean, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are in my mind they're kind of the same. And
that's true.
23.
That is true. I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking more. I think Beal's a better defender than Booker.
Yeah, his steal numbers are a lot higher, aren't they?
He's been able to play with John Wall, so he might have that. He's been in the playoffs, but I mean, it's really hard because right now our teams are so good. So that was our starting six for the three teams. Hope you guys enjoyed that segment. I know we did. Thanks again, Sean, for coming on and talking with us this whole day. We hope to have you back. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. All right, Ryota, you think we're good to go?
Yep, I think we're good. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.